in this computer. I will increase the amount of homework on marks so that you can practice and you can finish as many marks as possible. I have finished compiling the 2020 marks compilation. I am going to send it to you in the next session or so, tomorrow or so. And then if you can, I will publish the entire answer section so that you can check it on your own and you can improve it on your own. If you find something that's very difficult, message me. And for the paper SAT, the most difficult questions on the paper SAT will be from the 2020 and below. So it's gonna get a bit more difficult from here. You can see that the 2022 is very easy. 2021 is a bit trickier. 2020 is going to be more difficult, right? But it's the difficulty. I'm not saying that it will be closer to the actual tests. The difficulty is way off when it comes to decreasing or increasing distance between the test date, which is 2023, and the test practice date, which is 2020, 2019, things like that. It'll be less accurate. So that's why I haven't let you done that. But if you've run out of resources, that will be the very next thing, because remember, these are official sources and these are from College Board themselves. So it's very authentic. Okay, let's start with today's homework. I think I've got everybody's homework and you guys done quite decently. Obviously, there's still some dumb errors on your end, and it's going to be your battle now, and you're going to have to fix it and try to find, listen, you don't fix one question, you fix your approach, right? You don't fix a question, you fix your approach by rethinking how you could have done it differently, so that rethinking which path you could have taken to solve this question differently, not just to come up with a different answer, but to come up with a different way of doing it as a whole. So I've ran through the entire SAT for multiple times now, and I haven't found, I only found, like, in total, there are under 50 questions that are difficult from 2016 to 2023 or to 2022. So if these are challenging to you, and if I go through it too quickly, just tell me, because my frame of reference is a bit different to you guys, right? Firstly is I'm going to ask you to do the first 5 done. First question.
1A.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me just open my document. 1A, all right. No, 0 is 1. Yes, correct. 1A. And 2 is
2A.
2A. Real good. 3 is
A.
what's the baby? Yeah, just plug them in. Plug and chuck. 4.
4D.
4D. All right, good. 5 is, there's nothing difficult yet.
B.
5B. Okay. Next will be Lina. 6 to 10. Starting from 6.
6D.
6 what?
D.
D, all right. 6D. Okay. Good. 7 is
7C.
C. Look, these kind of questions, there are only a number of kinds of SAT questions. So when you look at this, sometimes when the especially on the first module, not only the first module, for the first questions on the digital SAT, you can see that as soon as you read this question and as soon as you read the answers, the options, you can very quickly choose you can very quickly know that what is this asking for. They're just asking for T, right? They're asking for T and reorganize this to find out T. So there's just a handful of SAT kind of questions. So if you do You spend enough time doing this kind of questions, you come up with your own quick shortcut of knowing whether to do this or not. Like, for example, you just can, to me, if I see this question, I read this and I see the four options, they are very similar and they have the same kind of form to it. So I just quickly assume that I'm just going to reorganize it as T, and it's C. Okay, that's a quick one to do. 8 is
8C.
8C, cubic, the right triangle. The volume, okay, Hưng here. The volume is, you just remember, let me repeat the, do you remember how we can just calculate the volume? For every single kind of shape, how can we do the volume?
We calculate the area of the base and next multiply by the height.
Exactly. You just multiply by the height with the base, because remember, if you calculating the volume, you're just taking the base and you swipe them up to the height, right? Like this. And how about the surrounding area? How can you calculate the surrounding area?
I think that first we calculate the circumference of the base and next multiplied by the height.
Yes, exactly. You just take this and you multiply by the height. And if they ask for more, they ask for the outer area or anything like that, that means to calculate the entire thing that's outside, that covers the entire shape. It means that you're going to have to not only calculate the circumference and multiply it by the height, you swipe them up, but you also need to add them with the two bases, right? For example, this one and this one. You're gonna have to add them to the sum of calculating the outer area. Okay. So 8 is
C.
8C. 9 is
9B.
9B, very simple. And finally, 10 is a very interesting question. Firstly, you can answer me the 10.
C.
Okay, 10 is C. This brings us with the a field of knowledge. Look, this is what we call a circular angle, right? A circular angle is basically an angle, but it's related to a circle. And this one is what we call an exterior angle. Remember the word xt, and extra, for example, extra, exterior, and interior. If I say I have the measurement of C is 60 degree, what is the measurement of B? You know, was it
30.
30? Because the exterior angle of a circle will be half the arc measurement. Look, this is creating one arc. This arc is, for example, AD. The arc AD has the measurement that is equal to the central angle, which is 60. And this arc has the length of 60. And this is dividing, this is also intersecting this arc. So the angle B will share the same arc as the angle C. So it will be half of angle C, which is 30, right? Interior angle will be like this, like this. These two will be the interior angles, and this is an inscribed angle. Inscribed angle will be like this. Okay, this will be an inscribed angle. All right. So this will also have the half, the measurement of half an arc, right? So it's 10 is C. Well done. Very good. Next up is back from 11 to 15. Firstly, 11.
11 is to the
What is yeah, 11. What is 11?
11 is D.
D. Okay, very good. It's just you can, firstly you can just plug in. I think it's the quickest way possible is to plug in the two ends of or the two intercept of the two axes, and that's I think it's the quickest way. 12 is
12
if a system has no solution. If a system of equation has no solution, what is the condition to it?
it's minus 6B.
Right, minus 6b. Very good. 13 is
13 is for it's B.
b. All right. Can you quickly remind me how you did this? The power rule.
We just take the square root of 16 and square root of a to the power of 16.
And square root of a to the power of 16. And this gives us
Gives us 4 and a over a.
okay, so a because this is the power and this will be the a to the power of 16, meaning that we're going to put the 16 on the numerator, and the denominator will be by default 2. 16 over 2 is 8. It's b. Right. 14 is
14 is
14 is
one it's B.
b. Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's recheck it a bit. Which of the following equation represent the information given in terms of
A.
R?
A.
All right, A. Okay, it's A. 15. Very quick. 15.
15 is 4. D.
15 is 4. D. All right. So you fell into the trap of this question. Look, they're asking for the side length, right? So first of all, we're going to have obviously to read the entire question because we don't know what k is yet. I'm reading from bottom up, right? We don't know what k is yet. So we look at this side length of k, and we still don't know what side length is, the top surface of each paving stone. So I'm going to have to read the entire context. This will be the question in which we're going to have to read the entire thing. The line XY represents the relationship between area Y in square feet of the patio and number of paving stones X. So we have this. In general, we're going to have to find the area, the total area of the patio. In this case, we can just pick one random. I'm going to pick this one to be simple, a bit simpler to calculate. So we have 8, 2. What does that mean? Firstly, we have X is the number of paving stones. There are 2 paving stones and it totals the area of 8. So the total area of the entire patio is 8 times 2, right? Is 16. And 16 is the entire area of this one. Okay. This is the entire area of 16. So how can we calculate the side length? We're going to have to square root them, and we have 4. And after square rooting them, we can find that there are two stones. So we are going to have to further divide them by 2, because look, if there are 2 stones, like if there's 2 stones and the total side length of the largest rectangle is 4, we are going to divide them by 2 because they share the same length, right? So each of them will carry the length of 2. So this will be B, not 4, right? You got this back?
Okay.
Okay, so be careful on this, okay? Next one will be 16 to 20. It's Hung. 16 is
16 is 70.
70. The total of them is 90. Exactly. 17 is
3 over 5.
3 over 5. I'm sorry, 3 over 5. Okay, very good. 18 is
2.
18 is 2. Very well. What's the value of X? Okay. 19 is
4.
4. The sum. Exactly. 20 is
8.
8. Right. Very good. Very well. So, yep, there goes the full answer. You can see there's nothing difficult yet. And section 4 will be a bit more interesting. Now back to thumb. First question.
1B.
1B. Okay, good. And 2 is
A.
A. Let's see. What is the density? Very simple calculation. And 3 is
B.
B. Right. The median is the middle point. It's just this dash. This dash is the median. So it's B. Okay, 4 is
A.
what is the keyword?
Gain 2 pounds every day.
Exactly, £2 every day. So this is a fixed incremental. So it would be increasing linearly. Right. 5 is
D.
5D. This one is okay. D. If you don't know how to do this quickly by calculating using your calculator, you can always use decimals, right? It'll be way quicker than just assuming or just drawing the entire thing. Firstly, you can use your calculator or just use decimals. Next up is 6. It's Lina's turn. 6.
6A.
A. It can seem very daunting at first because look, there's a lot of numbers and decimal points here. But in general, you're just gonna have to calculate the mean. Next up is 7 is
7C.
7C. 10 minutes after 10 minutes micrometer. 10 minutes is okay, C. 8 is
8D.
D. Oops, sorry. 8D, the increase of the predicted length in micrometer after completing cell division. It sounds very complicated indeed, but in summary, the slope will be the increment or the decrement. Firstly, it increase or it will decrease, right? So either this or that, it won't be the predicted. So you can do this very quickly. Next up is 9. 9B. Let's see. B. The graph shows the possible amount of money in Y dollars he saved after X days. 9B. Which ordered pair represented possible amount of money he saved after X days? 9B is 1275, 12, and 75. Oh, so you made a mistake here. Look, on the SAT, if they are asking for on the SAT for the inequality, we take the shaded part, right? We don't cross them out. So in this case, which would be the answer then? A, exactly. We take the shaded part, so it's this one, right? 10 is
10A.
10A, very simple. Look, if I think this, I have come up with this conclusion that if there are two paragraphs in one question, you don't read the first one, because the first one is most likely going to be the explanation of each value. And if you're quick enough, you can assume this one and you can read the entire values here. And you just read the prompt down below the second paragraph and you conclude with A. All right, let's check A. Okay, good. All right, 11, back to back.
11.
11 is
The A.
okay, the initial value. Very good. So can you tell me, have you learned about this? The exponential,
Yes.
exponentials. And do you, in this case, you have 2t over 30. This is the initial values, right? So how about this one? What's this one? Do you know how to call it?
No, like call, like name.
The name is growth rate.
Oh.
Okay, how about the t over 30?
The time.
Yes, the repetition. In this case, it will be repeated once. So it will be multiplied by the growth rate every t equals 30, you see? And if t is 60, it will be multiplied by 2 times, all right, the growth rate. So this is the reason why 30 is in down below. All right, 12 is
B.
is it B or D?
B.
B, right? These are the two corresponding angles, right? So if two lines have two corresponding angles that are equal to each other, they are parallel. Or two executive interior angles. If this W comma and Z, they add up to 180. This will also be a parallel line, a pair of parallel lines, because this is an executive interior angle. All right, that's just a jargon, a mathematics jargon. You don't really have to remember everything. 13 is
13 is the
B.
B.
Okay. The median, which of the following is the same for both data sets? So the median, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
25.
The median will be 6 plus 1 divided by 2. So it will be 3.5. The number 3.5, fifth. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 25 is the median. And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will be the 3.5th is the median 1, 2, 3, 3.5. So it's also this one. So it's B. Okay, great. 14 is
D. D.
14 is D. Okay. Next up is 15.
Mm, uh,
What's 15?
um, A. No. No, B.
B, right? How did you do this?
Uh, the equation of the other line is y equals x minus 1, and
Okay,
we
you
just
draw the line.
replace the numbers, the answers.
Okay, you put in. Oh, so this the perpendicular lines. What is the condition for it to be a perpendicular line to P?
Uh, so
18.
perpendicular, it just have the slope must be like
The slope of the perpendicular line and the line will be the multiplication will be
1
-1. Okay,
minus.
so it's B. Great. Next up is home. 16.
C.
What was it?
C.
C. Right. Correct. 17.
C.
How did you do this?
I simplified the equations and then just solve it.
That's a very general way of doing. You move the x out, right? Plus B, x plus C. You take the x out, and then you see that this is true for all values of x. You have x over here, so you cross them out. You have x plus 2 here, so you find a way to turn x squared plus bx plus c into x plus 2 squared. So this will be x squared plus 4bx plus 4. So it will be x plus 2 squared, right? So this will be 4, and 4, it will be c. Okay, great. 18 is
A.
18 is A. Let's see. How did you do it?
Use decimal.
What was it?
I use decimals.
Okay, there's most very quick. K is a positive constant. So how can you deal with K?
I just plugged in a random number, a few random numbers.
A positive constant, just as long as it's a positive, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it will be 18 is A. Very good. Quickly. 19 is
C.
19 will be C. Let's wait a sec. I think let's just finish this real quick, and then we're moving on to the reading writing so that we can kind of make some use out of the time. 20 is
Is B.
B, line what the coordinates across the x-axis. just put x equal y equals 0. Great. Tâm, 21.
21C.
21C. Okay, great. Yeah, the remaining 21C. Next one is 22.
A.
22A. X dollars, which expression represents the total amount of money collected in Florida? Yeah, the ratio, you just simply multiply by them. So 22 is A. Let's check. Okay, good. 23.
D. D.
D. This one.
Yes.
All right, D. 24.
B.
The side of AC, the hypotenuse. Right, remember hypotenuse. And what is this called? A, B, and BC.
Side. Length.
Side or the legs. Okay, in the right triangle, you call them the legs. And this side of a triangle, if you talk about a normal triangle, they have 3 sides. Okay, so in a right triangle, they have 2 legs and 1 hypotenuse. And what is this? If
Height.
this is the height. Okay, don't get mistaken again. Right. So 24 is B. Next is 25.
B.
Wait a sec. Which of the following could define F? The point is also in the graph. How did you do this?
I tried to plug in by give A and B a random number.
Point A is B on the graph. Oh, okay. So you plug in 2 times, right?
Yeah.
A and B, and A plus 1, 1, 3, B, right? Let's see. A is on the graph. Equation Fx is export plane.
And I see that every one when x increase by a number, the b will be like a third one. So I see it's like an exponential equations like b. So I choose them.
Oh, very, very smart. So B is for the y-axis. So it's the result or the fx. So she says that a plus 1 is the x plus 1. And in this case, if x plus 1, you get B will be decreased by 1/3. So the only thing that is a decrease here is the decay formula of B. Did you choose B?
Yes.
Okay, very smart. Next one is 26 is Lina.
26C.
26 is C. Okay. Maximum. Oh, how did you do this?
Well, the maximum value is M, and so when it has a maximum value, it means that x is 0. And after that, 4 options only C is correct.
Okay, so if M is the maximum value, it will be oh, right. In this case, this is what I do. This is what I would recommend to everyone. Firstly, you remember these equation. This is what is the degree of this equation? What is the degree of this equation? It has this shape. What is this degree? You see, it's the degree of 3. Okay, this is a degree of 2, a quadratic equation. And this, how about this?
4.
4, exactly. Remember these 4. And the second is the special values when the graph is diagonal in between the y-axis. In this case, is this one. This is y equals, not diagonal, but they're the same on two sides of the y-axis. What do I call it? Symmetrical. Okay, it is symmetrical between the y-axis. So this is the x squared, and this is symmetrical, and also x to the power 4. No, this will be like this. Okay, is a special case, and this will be x to the power of 3, and this is crossing the here. Right, remember these special for functions, and this one will have the will be decreasing, so it's -3. The same goes for this, the same goes for this. Okay, if you flip the sign, you can just flip the equation. So see, because I can remember this, x is like this, and for it to have a maximum, it will be the minus before a. So a is wrong, this is minus, and this is m because it moves up by n, and if it's not moved up by n, it will cross the 0 point. It moves up by m, and it's c. Okay, that's how I do it. It sounds pretty lengthy, but actually, if you remember how to do it, if you remember the entire graphs, you do it quite quickly. 27 is
A.
27a. All right. 27a. Decreased by 45. The resulting value is x. The original, I'm going to say original is p, right? Decreases by 45. Decrease, so it times minus p times 45%. Resulting is x. So the remaining would be p times 0.55, right? It equals x. So p would be equal to x divided by 0.55, right? So it's b. Got it? So for every exponential or for every percentage kind of questions, you're going to have to write them down, because look, it's very common for people to get wrong in the percentage questions, because it's not a linear. You can't just plus this and remove this from the latter equation. You have to write down the equation regardless of whether or not you think it is easy, so that you won't make simple mistakes like this, right? So this case is B. 28 is
28D.
it's D,
D.
right? The square yard, it's very simple. We've learned how to convert from mile, yard to square mile, square yard already. Just 1 mile equals 1.760 yards. So 1 squared mile will equals 1.760 squared yards. Squared yard. So cross multiplication, we got D. 29 is
29B. B.
29b, data set have the same mean, but the standard deviation to 12 whole number. How do you do this? Do you just calculate the mean?
No.
How do you do this?
I see that the shape of data set A, half the middle is 5 and the data set B also has the middle is 5 and two sides of the 5 they
Right, carry on. I see where you're going. You think they are symmetrical on two sides, right? They're the same at two sides.
yes
And they share this will be an axis, and you kind of just spread them out and you see that they are symmetrical to each other. And that is very clever. That's how you're going to find a mean in such a symmetrical kind of shape. An evenly distributed graph will have the mean is the axis, is the shared axis. This is 5. So that's very clever. But also you can notice that, look, this does not have the same standard deviation as this one, right? So the same standard deviation, C and D, they are wrong. You result to POE, that will be very quick. And you can see that this is a bit more concentrated. This will have a bit more flat, kind of flat standard deviation to it. So this will have a greater standard deviation. So it's B is greater, it's B, right? This is also a way. But yours is quite good. But in case of a test, you won't be able to come up with such a such way of doing, such complex way of thinking. So we're going to have to result in POE if you haven't found out the way yourself first. Okay, 30 is
30B at D
okay, 30D. Quadratic model for the scatter plot. Why did you choose D?
I draw a line from the lowest point to the highest point.
And remember, this is a quadratic equation, so it's not necessarily a line, but it is a curve, right? Like this. What else?
And I see that y increased by 0.5 and x increased by 1.
So
the slope
this is actually a quadratic equation. So the increments won't be linear. So you can't really use the rise over run, right? This will only be correct for a linear line. This is, look, this is rise, right? And this is run. So this will only be correct for a linear equation. But if you dive in deeper, you can just separate this into each lines like this. This is how they come up with derivatives. And it's a very advanced concept, which you'll learn later on 12th grade. But in this case, we're going to plug in x for like x is 1, x is 2, x is 3, and 4, and see which equation will be the closest to the estimated quadratic equation, right? You're just going to have to plug them in, because you can very easily see from the first one is x equals 1, it will be 4 and A will be out. X1 equals 2 is also out. C or D, you can just plug them in gradually, and you can find out it's D. Let me check. It's D. All right. The last 8 question, I'm going to give it to Hung. Can you do the very last 8?
One is half. 1/2.
1.5. Exactly. Probability that, how do you do this?
I take 500 and divided by 1000.
Why 500?
Because from 1000 to 1999, there are 500 numbers that are greater than 1499.
1499.
Basically, I take 1999 and subtract 500.
So look, this is greater than. I just don't want you to get mistaken with greater than or equal to. If they ask for greater than or equal to, it will be 501. In this case, it is in Hung's context is 500, right? 500 over 1000 is 1/2. Okay, 32. 20, very good. So you didn't get fooled by this one. Did you get fooled by this one? Or did you just fix it?
Didn't get fooled by it.
What was that?
I didn't get fooled by the question.
So this is some of the questions that I find most people get wrong. Not because it's difficult, but because it's asked for x plus 2y. Why is it mostly they get wrong when they were taking the SAT, the practice test, when I give this question as a practice test, because under time pressure, you're going to likely to make this one wrong. So pay close attention, especially when under time pressure. That's why I suggest you guys, when doing the SAT, the homework, place a timer around you and set it for 30 minutes. Try to do it under 30 minutes, right? Or around 30 minutes is good because the actual time is 55 minutes, but always push yourself harder to do it quicker and more accurate. And 33 is
1890.
1890. Remember, the ratio is 18 to 1. So you just multiply them as this teacher, students to teacher. So equals x over 105. All right, 34 is
2.
2. The value of b is 2. Great, no solution. Good. 35.
4.
35 is 4. Great. This is very easy. 36.
66.
66 is no explanation needed. And 37.
0.71.
Each 45 to 64. It's very simple. It's probability. It's 45 to 64. How many women are there?
0.71.
71. What is the denominator?
Oh, 30. Oh,
30.
denominator. Sorry.
A woman is selected at random.
132.
Exactly, 122, because this is the largest population. You take the total. What is the numerator?
3.
What is it? What is the numerator?
Let's see. Wait, the denominator is not 122.
If a woman is selected random from, oh yeah, it's not. I'm sorry.
The denominator is 72.
Is 72.
Oh wait, no,
Okay,
42,
72,
42,
really?
42.
Yes,
42, yeah.
Because they pick out from the total. This is already the total, and they ask for the largest population is not actually the total here, but it's actually this column. So what do you take?
30
Divided by
42.
exactly. A bit of a hiccup here.
Yes.
0.71. Okay, very good. As long as you can do this, it's fine. Just a little bit of hiccup, that's fine. 38 is
1.5.
Wait, 1.5. Great, that's good. All right, let's move on. And let's do quickly the international October one. Okay, it's back to bike from 1 to 5. First question is
D.
first one is D. Wait, hang on a sec. Right, D. Right, 2 is
2 is 1 over B.
B, right? Slope it is -1/3, and y-intercept is 9, so it's B. Grade 3,
A.
okay, A, because the ratio won't change. So if you multiply the numerator by 2, you're going to have to multiply the denominator by 2. Okay, 4.
4 is minus 0 minus 1 D.
Okay, D. 5 is
Um 10 B.
D. 0 minus 10. Y-intercept, again, you just move y to one side and x to one side, right? It's -10. Okay, good. Back to thumb from 6. I'm going to ask you from 6 to 10. Can you do it? 6 to 15. Okay. 6, firstly 6.
6A,
A, 7.
7D,
D, 8.
B,
What, 7D, 8B. Okay, good. 9,
9B,
9B, and 10.
10, 10C,
Hang on a sec. 10C, initial is this one. 2% less power, so 0.98. And that's the previous every year. So it's T. Okay, so it's C. 11 is
11B,
B. 12 is
D,
12D, the vertex equation. 13 is
D,
D. 14 is
A,
okay, A. And finally 15,
D.
D. Very good. So you can see it's very simple. Why haven't I found anything difficult on these two tests? But the August one is quite fun to do, but the October is quite kind of lame. Right, 16 to 5, it's Lina. 16 first.
16 to
2, 17,
17, 6,
6, 18,
18, 6 over 5.
okay, 6 over 5 is 1.2, or these two are fine. Right, 19 is
19, 124.
124. You just use the calculator, it's very simple. 20 is
28, 25.
25. The complex number system, the given product is equivalent to this. Can you redo this? I don't think 25 is correct. Have you done this? Minus I squared is equals to minus 1 is plus 1. You done this? So let's get 25. minus 5i plus 5i 25 minus 5i plus 5i minus I squared. So 25, it's 26, right? You see, minus I squared is minus to minus 1. Look, I is
No,
square root
no,
of
no.
minus 1.
I think
Was-
it is equal to 25 minus I squared.
Minus I squared. What do you mean?
Because when you multiply, you got some mistake. This is 25 minus 5i plus 5i minus I squared.
Yes, plus 5i. So these will be subtracted, right?
Yes.
These cancel out, and remaining is this minus I squared. It's still the same. Minus I squared is 1 plus 1, right? You get that? So this is why complex number, it doesn't make sense, because it's an irrational number. It's a complex number. It's very complicated, but it's not really. You just replace I as square root of minus 1. In the real number, the real plain number, you have square root of 1 equals, let's say square root of 2, right? So when you square the square root of 2, you get 2, all right? When you squared that, is that your father though? He's nice, very nice. Is when you take squared of square root of 2, you get 2. So when you get square root of minus 2, you get minus 2, right? This is a complex number. I'm sorry. Yeah, you get minus 2. This is a complex number. You get it? You get it, Lina?
Yeah.
Right. So remember, if you squared this, squared a root, square a square root, you just cancel out the root. You don't cancel out the sign. You just cancel out. In a complex number, you can never get rid of the negative sign by giving it a power of 2. You can't do that because it is a complex number. So square root. So I squared would be equal to minus 1, and minus 1 will equal to plus 1, and it's 26. Okay, you get it? Do you get this one?
Mhm.
All right, moving
Yes.
on. Moving on to the first question. First question, you too, Lina.
D.
1D, that's it.
1D.
Solution equation 1D. It's 11M and 44. It's C.
Oh,
Okay, so it's a silly mistake, all right? Next is 2.
2D.
2D. Wait. Which of the following equation can be used to find the number of millions of new jobs added in C over the decade? Construction company. So which of the following equation used to find the number of millions of new jobs? C. The healthcare industry, an additional of 15.6. So it'll be 15.6 here, the result. Over the next decade, the number of new jobs in the healthcare industry is expected to be 2 million less than 11 times the number of new jobs. 2 million less. So it's -2, so it must be D. It can't be C, right? It's 2 million less than 11 times the number of new jobs. So you have the number of new jobs is 11C. It is 2 million left, so you -2. So it's C, okay? Don't get too messed up by the lengthy prompt. Pay attention to the numbers. Pay attention to the surrounding of the number. It will be more important. 3.
3A.
3A, the amount in dollar each hour she worked. Actually, okay. 3A. 4 is
4C.
4C. Okay, 4C. And 5 is
5B.
5B. So you realize the outlier is an error, 91. Yeah, the median decrease. Just calibrate the equation. All right, next up is Byte's turn. 6 to 15. Firstly is 6.
Um, uh, s- uh, 12.
C. Okay. And 7 is
Mm, 80. C.
C. Right. 8 is
8 is A B.
you choose this linear model.
Uh, like no. I read the wrong. So it should be D.
Okay, D.
Because
What is the
I
keyword here? What is the keyword?
at the beginning of that period. But
No, I mean, what is the keywords on this prompt? For you to choose an exponential model and decrease as time increases. It decreases by half, right?
yes.
Yeah, it's not at the beginning, but it decreases by half. So it's multiplied by 0.5. Okay, so this is an exponential. But if I say decreases by 2 patient, what would you choose instead?
It's linear.
Linear, but what linear?
Mm,
A or B?
uh, A. B.
Okay. It decreases and
Yeah.
by linear model, so decreases by 2 patients every time. All right, next one is 9.
It's baseball.
9A. Okay, good. 10 is
10 is D.
how did you do this?
450 represents and I just take 37.7 equals 450.
Okay, so 100%. You just take 450 divided by 37.7%, and you're going to get the entire population, and it's D. Correct. Next one is 11.
Mm, uh, B.
11B. Okay. 2.5 plus 0.5x. So it's 2.5, C and D out, plus, okay, B. 12. What is 12?
So, uh, C.
Y-intercept, which is following must be true. F7. Okay, it's very simple. You plug in X is 1, you get 0. Also, you plug in X is 7, you get 0, right? 13 is
13 is
what's 13?
mm, uh it's C.
C. In the fruit, which of the following function is the minimum of milligrams of vitamin in the fruit used to make this juice? Vitamin, medium-sized papaya. Huh. 1 medium-sized papaya and n medium-sized orange. Which of the following can Hawking use to estimate the number of milligrams vitamin C? It is 0.2. Okay, it's 70, so it's C. Okay, good. And the last one is 14. Yeah, I believe it's has to have the horizontal. Nope, it can't be. 14, how about 14?
14 14 is B.
B, the equation line y equals mx. What does m represent in this context? Firstly, we
Oh,
can
A,
cross
A.
out. Wait
Yeah,
a sec. We can cross out 14 is, yeah, 14 is A. But firstly, we can cross out kilo cal over over milligram, because this is a slope, and slope is we're going to take the y over x. So we get rid of B and D. So we choose over between 1.72 or 0.58, and we get um it is this, we get A, right? 15 is by 15.
mm, B.
Okay, B, right? No explanation needed. Great. From 16 to 20, 16 to wait, 26. Hung, can you do this? 16. Let's just beat run this one.
It's B.
16B.
B.
B. There was total. Did not orbit. Okay, ratio is very simple. 17 is
D.
D. Perpendicular.
Yes.
Great. 18, 19.
18B. 19
18B.
is C.
And 19C. Wait, 18B, 19C. Which of the following percent increase? You just read the graph. In New York, from 1793 to 1843, it's here and it's increased like this. Or you can just read the graph, right? Next is 20. 20, what is 20?
B.
B. Okay, cool. 21 is, what is it?
D.
D. Not equal. Okay. Which of the following is equivalent to given expression for x? Okay, so it's D. 22 is
22 is A.
22 is A. Radian converting to radians, converting to y coordinate. Yeah. Wait, unit. So how do you do this? Can you explain?
I forgot.
How can you forget this? All right, this is a
I-
triangle. Right? How do you do this? Still remember?
I calculated R.
A or B is pi 6 radian, and this is
Oh, no. Yeah, I drew BH which is like perpendicular to OX, and then I calculated BH.
this one,
Yes, that one.
BH.
Yeah,
BH. And
Yeah.
what is the length of OB?
OB is 1.
Exactly. This is the radius. So if you can get this, and you can this is the opposite, right? This is the opposite to this angle. So you use cosine. Cosine pi over 6 equals the opposite over hypotenuse. HB is the one we're looking for over 1. So we get 1/2. Okay, A. Great. Next one is 23.
Is A.
Essentially A, there's no explanation. This is just lengthy. It's not difficult. 24.
I got 34 wrong. I chose D, but the answer is C.
The answer is okay, it's C. All right, let's check. You chose what? You chose D or C?
I chose D.
All right. D. A different person measures the athletic. Let's see. This is, you're gonna have to read the full context because this is a survey. A running shoe manufacturer will conduct a study to investigate whether a new shoe improves athletic performance. There will be 2 groups used in the study. Participants in one group will use the new shoe, and participants in the other group will use the currently produced shoe. Which of the following is a necessary aspect of the study in order to provide evidence for causation and effect? Relationship between the use of new shoe and athletic performance. Which of the following is a necessary aspect of the study? The study to investigate, there will be 2 groups. This is the structure of the study. There will be 2 groups. In one group, we'll use the new shoe, and the other group will use the current shoe. So each group is assigned with the same number, but okay, so this is essentially, we are looking for the sample rate. We are looking to reduce the margin of error, okay? Because we can't really give out the survey to every single person out there in the world or the customer in this company. We're going to have to take a sample, a random sample of a small people, a small group of very diverse people. How can we get a diverse people? We randomly pick participants, right? So let's say we have a pool of 1,000 participants and we have two groups. If we choose either women in either one of two groups, it would create some sort of bias. So what we're going to do is we're going to create to decrease the bias by using randomization. We take randomly each person from this sample of 1,000 random people out here. We take randomly one person and put them in here, the first group, and again, randomly another person and put them in the second group. And that's how we're going to ensure that the study will stay correct. In fact, the questions about study, they mainly it relates to one or two things. Firstly is margin of error, and secondly is the randomness. So in this, we can see that it's assigned a same number. It doesn't correlate to either one of two. Firstly, you focus on the randomness or the margin of error. In this case, you can clearly see that they're talking about the randomness. Different person measures athletic performance for each participant. This is not what we've learned. This doesn't make sense in the context of survey. It's not one of the necessary steps to take. The step to take are take a random sample or a increase or decrease the sample size. Each group has at least, it still doesn't matter. The correct answer is random. Each participant is randomly assigned to a group. So it's C. All right. 25 is
C.
okay, 25C. Right, cool. Now we're going to finish this off with thumb. Can you do 26 to 38 for me?
26B.
26 is B. Great. 27.
C.
27C.
Yeah.
Okay. 28.
28A.
A. Remember, we take the shaded part here. No, we don't cross them out, we take the shaded part. And if this is a dotted line, we won't be taking the equal sign. And if this is a whole line, we take the equal sign. Okay, 29 is
C.
C. 30,
B.
B. Very good. Oh, how do you do this? What is the keyword here?
Minimum value of y as a constant coefficient.
So they're asking for the minimum of y to appear in this equation. So you come up very quickly with the equation of vertex. Minimum and maximum, they are vertex equations, so it's B. Okay. Next up is 31. 31.
You want 351.
Exactly, 351. 32.
10.
10, right? 33.
5/8.
5/8. Fraction applied discount, 5/8. Okay. 34.
5.
Exactly. X plus Y is 5. 35.
6. No, 9. Sorry. 9.4.
Okay, 9.4. Remember, you can't really round the number. You have to type in correctly. 36 is
6.
6. Good. 37.
4.
4. And finally, 38.
And it's 3.
Very good. So that's it. You get 800. That's very easy. And yeah, that's basically it. Now I'm going to give you guys a bit of a more challenge because this will be too easy for you guys. And remember to fill in the form, fill in the homework form right when you do the homework so that I can check if you whether or not you finished your homework. Because if you don't fill in it, you'll be considered as haven't done the homework, right? So it's a productive lesson, and I'll try to next time I think I'll shift a bit towards reading writing because there's no point in learning more maths because we have learned plenty of it already, and the knowledge we mainly have to practice it at home, not to waste more time with the math section out here on class. So we're going to shift a bit further, leaning a bit further to obviously reading writing. And also a quick notice, we will have a test for the August test takers, which is Hung and will have a test at 16 of August, which is the next Wednesday. And for the rest, you will have the next test as at 26th of August for An, for Bike, and for Lina. You have these tests at 26th of August. Okay, so remember the test date, and this will be the next practice test. So it will be a major test. So you guys are gonna have to practice a lot on it. And let's see how far you've come. Okay, do you guys have any more questions? All right, if you don't, then I will conclude the class right now. Hope you guys have a good day and see you again. Bye.